Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about kind of a reaction from the My Hero Academia fandom, or some of it. Now, I would highly recommend going and seeing Hero Hey because he has covered a lot of this, but this kind of caught my attention because of just how stupid one little thing was. And as well as kind of what's been happening over the time with the My Hero Academia fandom. So if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And let's just jump straight into it. This whole concept of this video is about one scene that came up in one of the episodes that has aired in Japan, which is also probably on Funimation, Crunchyroll, etc., etc. I've seen a little bit of it, and to me, what they are complaining about does not bother me, and it feels like those fans don't know the entire whole, like how animation works. Now, this also kind of made me think back at some of the titles that I have seen that I have turned around and said, I didn't like that part of the animation, but it didn't kind of take away my response from it. Now, I really wanted to talk back on Bubble Girl when that came out because no one liked the underboob or something, or how she was tickled in a thing because they thought it was very cringy. Saw that scene, didn't think it was cringy. There's a scene of the Pussycats return in My Hero Academia. I'm guessing they're doing something, and they do this pose. So one person on Twitter didn't like this and was just like, what the hell, like, look at this. Now, I generally kind of think maybe they just thought they were trolling. Maybe they actually thought, oh my God, they have ruined my entire existence. But when looking at this, like the deadlines in Japan, and considering what is happening around the world right now, if they turn around and they shut down the studio to send their animators home and stuff like that, no one would blame them. But I'm guessing My Hero fans would, because then they couldn't get their weekly fix of My Hero and then just demand that they get compensation for some of this. So yeah, so when thinking about other animation, it reminded me of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, and yet no one really complained that I know of that much when this happened. When we saw Goku not drawn the way of the manga, there was scenes that looked really, really weird, and it just, to me, just made me think, what the hell? So let's have a look at this article and talk about it. Looking at Bounding Into Comics, we see that they've written the article and says, My Hero Academia viewers criticize Studio Bones for animation for the quality of Pussycat's return. The My Hero Academia fandom has once again taken issue with the element of the series' production, this time criticizing animation Studio Bones for the animation quality of one frame seen in the last episode. So if you're complaining about one slide that doesn't affect everything, I don't know. I feel like these are the sorts of fans that would watch it, have the best animation you could imagine, and a piece of hair is the wrong way, and then they slam it because it's not the same as everything. But then the characters say, wow, that was really windy and my hair got messed up. They'd be like, no, how dare you make this happen? How dare you? It makes me really angry. It continues. On March the 29th, the 24th episode of My Hero Academia Season 4, Japanese Hero Billboard chart made its debut in Japan. In this episode, as the hero rankings are released to the public, the Wild Pussycats team make a surprise visit to UA High to check their respective rankings. During their visit, they run into Class 1A and perform their group introduction to assure the students of their return. Now, I'm not going to play the animation, but you can see the picture. However, some members of the fandom took issue with the quality of framing showing the group's final pose, considering it to be an excusable adaptation of the manga. Can't say its name, so I'm not going to say it. Original artwork. And then we have this tweet, Bones, what the frick? It added, feels good to be right long ago in calling out how pretty disappointing Bones has been this whole season, and the people that said I was wrong agreeing with me. This viewer has also originated the complaint against the animation frame, took their criticism a step further, tracing the original panel artwork, coloring it and presenting it, and professing that they had done them some justice compared to what Bones did. And then obviously it's that one there. However, other fans of this series were quick to speak out against the comparison, noting that an anime is not a one-on-one reproduction of the source material, but an adaptation, and pointing to the differences between the crafts of still art and animation. This one user wrote, "So you traced his work. Yeah, the standards you guys have for the animators are weird. Do take into consideration that they don't trace and they are making the adaptation. They are drawing them, pretty much. They are drawing their own ones rather than tracing. If you think you work harder than them because you remade one, still they did when they have hundreds of thousands of frames to draw on a deadline, working 16 to 18-hour work days. You are sorely mistaken. Nice art, but sacrifices have to be made for TV animation to be possible." Another person writes, "And you did it without the crunch time of the animator's face? Right, good job. Now animate it into the next scene until they cut to Kota. Oh wait, you can't because you traced and colored a manga panel." I love it. YouTuber Hirohei described that the complaint as nonsense. He also points out that the tweet at the time he made his video had been liked over 5,000 times and retweeted over 660 times. You are telling me that there are over 5,000 people that agree with this? This is absolutely crazy, Hirohei says. He also added, "It's unbelievable that even on Twitter that 5,100 people thought that this was a reasonable take." In response to criticism on the hot take, the user wrote, "To the people that are mad that I'm complaining about how poorly drawn a simple still frame was done, I'm sorry, you have low standards for well-known animation companies." And then the tweet is at the bottom. At the end of the day, they're on a very strict time frame to get your anime out. Now they could easily say, okay, cool, we're gonna make this and it will be out every 2 years because we want to make this perfect, and people would complain. If they turn around and said that we can get this out every couple of days, people would still complain. In his video, Hirohei turns around and says that some fans want Studio Bones to go the way of Kyoto Animation. I apologize if I got that wrong. Now, if any one of those fans think that and have said that on Twitter, how fucking dare you? That's horrible. It's fucking disgusting. Also, people sending the company death threats. What the fuck as well? At the end of the day, if you do not like it, buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out, when everything is going to be perfect or maybe to your standards. And if you the last quote that was said, to the people that are mad that I'm complaining about how poorly drawn a simple still frame was drawn, you go and sit and keep to the deadlines that is given. You try and do exactly what they do. And if you can't pull out a masterpiece every single time, then you don't even bother. It really angers me that people do this, that people think that they are high and mighty because, that they consume a thing that they like. As I mentioned before, if I turn around in any of my reviews and say the animation isn't as great, it doesn't put me off the entire thing. I know exactly how long it takes for stuff to be done. So things coming out weekly, I know that they have different animators on at different times. I know with Dragon Ball Super, they had loads of different people working on it and you can see it all the way through. But it didn't put me off enjoying it. I didn't see the fact that Goku looked really weird when fighting Beerus, or Vegeta's, I think his right hand, exactly drawn like the left. I didn't complain completely about anything that was coming out because I knew the deadlines. And if I didn't know at the time, I researched and learnt it myself, as in finding out exactly why. So then my entire whole kind of thought process changed. Now there have been animes that have had 12 episodes, 24 episodes that come up every year and they are drawn perfectly. And there's something like this that are done weekly for the fans because they want to get out and show their love for the fans. Yeah, again, some people complain about it just because one image was not absolutely perfect. And considering the entire thing that's going on right now in the world, I would not be surprised if animation dropped in other ones and it wouldn't bother me. What bothers me is they're not at home keeping themselves in quarantine. If you're sending death threats, really, that's how your life has gone? If you're angry about this, then why? Is it just because you want it to be perfect 100% of the time? And also the guy who traced it then to try to pass it off as his own work. What the hell? You've proved nothing. You thought you were doing something funny that people would be like, oh my God, you're a good drawer. Yeah, again, you played yourself. Yeah, this just irritates me. At the end of the day, they are doing the best they can. They're under a lot of stress, so you can enjoy the anime for 24 minutes, half an hour, whatever, just so that you can go, I can't wait for the next one. And then these guys just literally spending hours upon hours to make sure that you get it. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I just think this whole thing is really stupid compared to what we are seeing around the world. But yeah, at the end of the day, so people complain just because one frame isn't drawn exactly to the manga. I guarantee you there's probably other animes out there that are not drawn straight to the manga. Anyway, gonna leave it there. If you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.